It's so good. Pediatric feeding disorder, problem feeding disorder, extreme picky eating, whatever you want to call it, it is real. I'm Kiwanta, educator, coach, founder of Elite Kids, featured in Forbes, and mom of 2 adorable little boys. Let's talk about the kids. Today's topic is one that is deeply personal to me, pediatric feeding disorder. Maybe you've heard it called extreme picky eating, but let's be clear. It is real and it is much more than just being picky. I'm going to share a lot about PFD, and I'm even going to share my own son's journey with pediatric feeding disorder and how we are currently navigating through it. But if you want more detailed information about how to advocate for your child, resources for families, or even grants available to families with a problem reader, you definitely want to grab this resource right here called Don't Panic, Helping a Child with PFD. It goes into much more detail than I can stuff in one YouTube video. Learn about the difference between PFD and picky eating, a checklist for things to look for, understand why PFD happens, learn how to tell your child's story so that you can properly advocate for him or her, when and why to get professional help, questions to ask a specialist. Now, this is very important for a few reasons. Some specialists take insurance, some have wait lists, some have different strategies and techniques that may not align with your family values. And I guide you step by step on how to have these conversations so that you can walk away with all the information that you need so that you can make the best decision for your child. And here's the thing, some kids are adventurous eaters and some kids are not. So I've also included as a bonus the 12 steps to eating. These are beautiful, colorful cards that you can use right in your home, adhere them to the refrigerator, the wall, or just use them at the table. And it takes you step by step on taking a child from absolutely not, ill, gross to that's not bad. Grab that resource. The link is in the description below. Let's get started. Some children are adventurous eaters, but for other children, certain smells, colors, taste, and textures can have them running in the opposite direction. It's not stubbornness. Their bodies and their brains are reacting in a way that they cannot easily control. And I didn't even know that PFD was a thing until I became a first-time mom. It was a struggle to get my son to eat food. He had a very limited number of items on his preferred food list, and it was very concerning, so I asked around. I just wanted to know how to get my child to eat. And the advice I got, which you probably heard before, is don't worry, he won't starve himself. He'll eventually eat when he's hungry. Then I thought, okay, well, if I'm the problem, if I'm giving in too soon, then I can fix that. Well, I'm here to tell you the don't worry, kids won't starve themselves is not always true. I have seen firsthand that some children will gag, vomit, and run away from food. Pediatric feeding disorder is a real medical and psychological challenge. And it's painful for the whole family. The dinner table, the place where it's supposed to be about family, connection, and community, can turn into a place of shame, guilt, and heartache for you and for your child. The one you love, the one you promised to nourish and protect, struggles with the basic human need to eat. We can't go to restaurants because what's my child going to eat? And you can almost forget about visiting friends and family because I see a lot of options, but what's my child going to eat? So if we do accept the invitation, then I have to bring my own food. Then I have to explain why I'm bringing my own food. Then I have to hear well-meaning advice about my child and his feeding problem. All of which I can handle. I can handle the grown folks. If you struggle with that, definitely you want to grab this toolkit so that you know how to respond to friends, family, and even strangers. Learn how to handle those situations with grace. What I cannot handle is that my child is not enjoying all the grains, the fruits, and the vegetables that his body was meant to enjoy, that his body and brain need in order to be healthy and be strong. If this sounds like something that you are currently experiencing in your home with your child, this is what you should do. And I'm not speaking as a medical professional. I'm not giving you any medical advice. I am speaking as a mom with a child who is a problem feeder. Talk to your pediatrician. Don't wait for the annual checkup. You want to call and schedule an appointment. And in this toolkit, don't panic. I show you exactly how to have that conversation with your pediatrician. I also show you how to create your child's own feeding story so that you can properly advocate for your child and don't leave anything out. You want to request a referral for a feeding specialist, and you want to schedule a full evaluation. A few different things can happen. The therapist/evaluator might discover that it's actually something physical, something going on with the mouth, the tongue, teeth, the throat, or the digestive system, or they may discover that is psychological in nature. Either way, you'll have the answers, and those answers can lead you to the next step, which is some form of therapy. Some insurance companies often cover feeding therapy. My advice would be to talk to at least 5 different therapists in your area. Ask them to check your insurance so that you are crystal clear on the cost. There are some amazing organizations out there too. We're talking about providing webinars, communities, grants, and scholarships for families who are in need of some feeding therapy services. All of those different organizations that I'm talking about will be listed in the Don't Panic Toolkit. The point is, your family's situation is not an isolated event. There are families all over who are currently experiencing the same struggles. And fortunately, there are organizations and individuals out there who are dedicated to not only helping your child, but helping you navigate through this time to help your child go from ill growths to an adventurous eater. Now, let's talk about some basics that you can do right at home. This is the 12 steps to eating. I have the full list in the Don't Panic Toolkit, as well as the beautiful cards that you can use in your home. But I'm just going to break it down a little bit for you right now. If you do purchase the Don't Panic Toolkit, I recommend that you print them, cut them, laminate them so that you can reuse them every day. Can the food be in the same room with your child? Can the food be on the table? Can the food be on the plate? Can your child touch the food with a fork? Can your child touch the food with their finger? This was huge for my son because he also has texture aversion for certain textures. Can he smell it? Can he lick it? Can he take a tiny bite? Can he take a tiny bite and spit it out? Can he take a big bite, chew, and spit it out? Can he take a big bite, chew, and then swallow? And when you see a specialist, they may also suggest other strategies as well, or other steps as well. It all depends on the needs of your child. Okay, now this is a big one. It is important to set your expectations. This is a long journey, so go ahead and strap in. I remember when I joined a community and I was paired with another mom, and actually she had to quit her job because this was a full-time thing for her, helping her son with his struggles with food and feeding. And she told me right off the bat, strap in, it's going to take a while. It's taken us 4 years. So I'm going to give the same advice to you, encourage you the same way. Strap in. This is going to take a while, but every step, the progress, every win is worth it for you and for your child. And now for story time. Let me tell you about RJ. RJ had a very limited preferred food list. It was basically French fries, crackers, Cheerios, green smoothies. At least I got the spinach and the kale down his throat because he liked green smoothies. But this kid would gag, vomit, scream, cry. It was terrible for everybody. Lots of tears. Not only was RJ crying, but I was crying as well, and Mimi was crying. Everybody's crying because it was painful to see this kid who we love so much struggle with food. Well, one day we were watching a nature documentary, and there was this whale. Of course, RJ loves whales. It's one of his favorite animals. And the whale jumped up out of the water and seemingly ate a bird because the bird was floating on the water. And RJ said, "Ooh, whales eat birds. I want to eat a bird too." And I said, "Ooh, buddy, that sounds like a great idea. I'm going to cook you some bird chicken." And I brought chicken to the dinner table. And we didn't even have to go through the 12 steps. He just devoured it. He loved it. And so then I realized, oh, I can use his interests, the things that he likes, to also help him with his feeding journey. And in the toolkit, Don't Panic, I talk about that as well, how you can help your child with their journey by using the things that they're interested in. So eventually I did tell him, okay, buddy, we don't call it bird, we call it chicken. You're eating chicken. And I was able to introduce quite a few different types of food that way, just by incorporating the things that he was interested in. Like, we watched Kung Fu Panda. Poe was eating dumplings and noodles, so he wanted to try dumplings and noodles as well. The main point is, it's a journey. I saw this kid go from only wanting to eat crunchy, starchy foods to, screaming, vomiting, and gagging when he tried different foods, or when I encouraged him to try different foods, to sopping up and slurping up soup noodles with the chopsticks, mind you, the whole nine. And that was progress. We still struggle. It's still a struggle every single day. We still go through our 12 steps every single day, but we celebrate the wins. And it's been really interesting journey, and I'm glad to be able to share my journey with you, in the hopes that it will also help you and your problem feeder. It takes a village to raise these children. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a member of your village. Remember to grab Don't Panic, helping a child with pediatric feeding disorder, and I will see you on the next video.